Hi, this is Rockin' Robin, and today we're going to tell you what you need to know before you go and do your first flea market. I mean, maybe you have done one or two, but you still want to learn what to do. We sell at flea markets. We've been doing this for 20 years. We sell at flea markets, and we sell on eBay, and we sell on Posh, and we sell on Facebook Marketplace. But some people have recently asked me, if we're going to do a flea market, and we've done eBay or we've done whatever, what are the things we need to know? Well, I'm going to tell you some of the things that are important for our dealers for your first time, or if you're just beginning, you haven't done it in a while. Number one, before you go to a flea market, the first thing you want to do is you want to go and you want to talk to the other dealers. You want to ask them a lot of questions, see how they like it, see what they don't like, see what they have to say, ask when the people come in most. Are they an after church crowd? Are they first thing in the morning? Are they late in the day? Ask them for little tips and different things, because they're the ones who know it. You may have a lot of questions and they're the best ones to ask. So I would say that would be your first thing to do. Now, after you speak to them, you might want to talk to the owners or the managers. You want to find out the prices, how much it costs to be there. You don't want to be paying an enormous amount. You want to know how much space. You want to make sure you have the right amount of space. You need to know the rules. Each place is a little different. The one I go to now, they want you to stay till 3 o'clock, and if you leave early, they won't let you come back next week. You have to follow the rules. Other ones I've gone to, some don't allow guns or knives or anything that they consider a weapon. You have to talk to the owners, find out what the rules are so that you're doing the right thing. Now, say you've done that, you're ready to go and you're going to get there. The best thing is to get there early. If the flea market opens at 8, you better be there no later than 7. There's always going to be early birds. It's always going to take time to get things together. Sometimes they let people in early, and sometimes they didn't let people in at any time, and sometimes they have a rope and they won't let people into a certain time. But you need to get there early. You need to find your space. You maybe need to put up tables. We used to go sometimes to the Elephant's Trunk in Connecticut. You had to be there at 4:30, because if you weren't there by 5:30, sometimes you didn't get a spot. We were there one time at 5:30, and 3 people in front of us, they stopped, they were full. So try to get a spot in advance if you can. See if you need to reserve or not, and if you need to reserve, make sure you pay. Decide, sometimes it's cheaper if you buy a month. Sometimes it's better. It doesn't matter. You go week by week. Some places that just go in. There's a Fort Lauderdale where you drive in and you just set up wherever you're next on the spot, and there they want you in by 4:30, 5:30. If you're in there 6:30, you got a terrible spot and you're not going to sell anything. So you have to learn all those things. You got to know if you got to reserve a spot, where you're going, what you're doing. And then one of the other things you should learn is you should decide if you want tablecloths or how you want to arrange your spot. Do you sell fancy things that tablecloths underneath them are needed? Do you sell antiques? Do you sell men's things? Do you need tables? How many? Do you have to rent them? Should you bring them? If you're going to bring them, make sure you put them in your car first so that they fit and everything else around it. Design pretty much how you want your booth to look. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. You can have booths in the middle, booths on the side, booths this way, booths that way, stuff on the side, stuff in the front. So many things to think about. Figure out what you have and what you think will look best. A lot of it will come as you start to unload, but think ahead of time, have some stuff in mind. When you get home, arrange your stuff in boxes. Put your stuff in boxes before you're going to pack. Put similar stuff together, just because that's where you're going to put them on the table, so know what you have. Get some small cash. It seems like first thing in the morning, everybody comes, they want something that costs $1, and they want to give you a $20 bill. So make sure you have change. I'm not talking about quarters and nickels and dimes. I'm talking about singles. Have singles, 5s, 10s. Make sure you have a lot of that. When you're setting up your thing, make sure you bring some large items. It's just a tip, because if you bring all small items, it doesn't always attract people in. They don't always see everything. So we always try to have a few large items on the outside so they come from different directions to see it. And you can do what you want. We have one dealer who he sprinkles around the place, and he puts perfume, and he does all these things. He changes outfits. I don't think all that's necessary. But anything that works for you, if you feel it works, maybe it's just a state of mind, but if it works for you, do it. You do not need to price your items. Some people do, and people like it when you price your items, but later in the day, prices go down. Because if you start off the day and you're asking $30 and maybe people will offer you 15 or 20, and you say, hey, it's early in the day, I really want 30. And then if you can't get 30 later in the day, you don't want to bring it home, you will take the $20. So you don't want to go and reprice every single thing you got. So I don't price items. I let people ask, and I decide if I have something and I'm asking 30 and they say, hey, you can get it in Walmart for 20, then you say, no, geez, I'm asking too much, I should ask 15. And then if you already priced it, so don't price items. Now the next thing is you need to expect people to negotiate. You don't have to accept their offer. If you say 30 and they say 10, if you want to say 20 or 25, you can. Expect a lot to even lowball you, give you prices that are just embarrassment. When that happens to me, sometimes I don't even want to deal with them, and I just don't give them a better price. But it's up to you. But expect negotiating. Don't accept the first price they offer. They're not going to accept the first price you offer. Come to something that makes you happy. The best thing is to ask more than you really want, because maybe you'll get close to what you really want or what you really want if you ask more. If you don't ask more, you have no chance. When you first get to your space, I know I'm going kind of out of order, but there's a lot of interesting things. When you first get to your space, make sure you stay in your space. It's important to be friendly to the dealers on the side of you. You don't want to put your items and take part of their space or be rude to them, because dealers talk and they talk to the customers, and if you're blackballed, you're not going to sell anything. You got to be friendly not only to the customers but to the other dealers. Always be friendly. I tell that in almost everything I do, how important being friendly is. Now, if it's the first time you go and you got small little valuables, I don't care if they're jewelry or knives or whatever you think they are, put them in cases, because people steal. We've had small things stolen, we've had big things stolen. They will steal. Don't leave them out and make it easy for them. Make it difficult for people to steal. You don't have to have a case. Sometimes you might want to put something away, and if somebody's looking for something, take it out. But don't make it easy. Don't put it far away from you. Put it right near where you're sitting, right there. Talking about sitting, make sure you bring yourself a chair. How many people, first time there, they don't bring a chair? I don't know if they expect they're going to sit in the trunk of their car or what they're going to do. But you're going to need a chair. You might want to bring yourself some food and drinks, maybe a little cooler, because you may not have time to go out and get a drink. Go out to get food. I mean, you can't just leave all the time anything you want, because there's going to be people around. Even if there's two of you, sometimes you want to bring that. Plus, it saves money. A lot of these places, when you get food and drinks, they're expensive. You're there to make money. You're not there to just spend it. You also need to bring an umbrella or a tent. Sometimes it's really good to have the tent over your items so they're not really hot, so the customers come in, they keep cool. And sometimes you just need an umbrella, some kind of umbrella, to keep yourself cool. Some spaces where you go, they'll come with umbrellas and different things, and some won't. That's one of the things you need to ask. It's one of the things you need to prepare for. It's really hot, you need to do that. You might even want to bring a fan. I bring an electric fan sometimes, because hey, you don't want to be that hot. Even if you need to bring a wet cloth, some ice, if it's in the middle of summer, do it. Speaking of summer, watch the weather. If it's going to rain, you don't want to do it, but you want to bring a tarp to put over your stuff, because if it's only going to rain a short period of time, which is what happens in Florida, it'll rain maybe, sometimes it rains all day, but sometimes it rains 10 minutes, sometimes it rains an hour. When people leave, if the weather forecast, watch the weather forecast, if the weather's going to be good and you see people leaving, don't leave, stay. Because once it starts clearing up, take your tarps off, the people will come. That's the way it works here. And a lot of dealers leave, which is great, because the less dealers, more money to spend in your booth. So make sure you stay unless it's going to rain all day. And in that case, don't book a spot if it's supposed to rain all day. All right. This is just for your reference and maybe for taxes. You want to write down what you sold and how much you sold it for. I use it a lot for looking back if I'm going to buy something. Did I make enough profit when I buy this? Can I get that much for it? And otherwise I won't buy it. And it's also very useful for taxes. If you're using this as tax purposes, you need to know what you sold. You have to have an account. And you got to remember, the taxes you're going to pay have to be in the price. You're not going to say to somebody, give me $2.26 in tax. They don't do that at flea markets. If you want that money and you don't want to have it with the $2, then charge $3. You gotta figure that what it's in. All right, then when you're getting your tables, now you're at the flea market, you got your tables. The best thing is to do to keep similar items together. We have one side is all men's stuff, whether it's knives, fishing, whatever, tools, and then we'll have the other side where it's more women's stuff, where it's decorating or clothes or whatever. But you don't want to have everything mixed in between. Then people don't know where to look. Men want to look at their stuff, women want to look at jewelry. If you have a kids table, keep all the kids stuff on it. Whatever you have, try to keep them all in the same spot. It's very helpful to the customer, and you're likely to sell more. If possible, bring a friend with you, because it's so hard with the stealing stuff to see everything. And if you do have to use the ladies' room or the men's room, it's good to have somebody there. You can ask another dealer, but if you can bring a friend, bring a friend. You don't have to, it's not vital, but hey, if you can, you can. Now here's something that we found. Try not to bring the same stuff 2 or 3 weeks in a row. You can bring, if you sell something particular and you sell a lot of it, you can bring it every week, but not everything in your booth has to be the same thing. We will have stuff where these boxes are for week 1, these boxes are week 2, these box 3, and then afterwards start back with week 1. Now in the meantime, we will have bought stuff, and we will, certain things we'll bring every week that we know there's sell, CDs or DVDs, whatever it is, we will bring every week. But not every single thing in your booth should be the same every single week. You gotta have some variety. So go out and go out and buy something at a flea market, a tag sale or an auction or wherever it is that you buy from. All right, bring plastic bags and paper, because you might have to wrap something, even if it's not a dish or glass, you might have to wrap it. They might want to keep them separate, they might scrape, whatever. Make sure you bring it. Remove any tags on items. We found a lot of times that we would leave a tag. We bought something at a tag sale the day before, and we didn't take the price off, and they came in and said, hey, this is $1. You didn't want $1. That's what you bought it for. You wanted 4 or 5. And you felt stupid saying, oh no, well, that's the other price. So either you sold it to them for $1, or they weren't going to buy it, because now you're going to charge more than the $1. So make sure you remove the tags. Talk to customers when they come in. Find out what they like. Maybe somebody collects Disney. Maybe somebody collects knives. Maybe somebody collects toys. Find out what they do. So if you go out and you're going to buy, you can look for those specific items that they buy and have something for them when they come in. They'll be happy. You'll make some money. It's great. A few more things. One of them is, when you sell, don't ask what you're going to get on eBay. Don't say, well, I'm asking $45 because it's $50 on eBay. Nobody wants to hear that. A lot of people that come to you are going to be buying for eBay, and a lot are not. They don't care what's on eBay. They want to know what you want for it. Maybe it's some items you couldn't sell on eBay. Well, then you can't ask the same eBay price, because you have no chance. Flea markets are like a middle level. There's like tag sales and auctions, and then there's flea markets, and then there's eBay. You have to sell them at a price. Maybe they'll make some money, you make some money, but you couldn't make money before. You gotta be willing to negotiate, and it's gotta be the right price. All right. I wanted to remind you one more time. I'm going to put up on top there our other videos so that you can go back and watch what items are good to sell at the flea markets. And I want you to subscribe, comment, press the like button. You know, if you have a chance, also go and look at Rockin' Robin 103. That's my other website, stuff on Florida and all kinds of fun things. I'd love you to do both. That would be great. Well, have a good day. I want you to have some fun and go make some money.